This is Kai Silas with the Rugby Report. Union destroyed Stornoway 38-7. Lanita was able to crush Rocky Edge 45-7. And Asado upset Camelot 14-10. That means, if you look at the standings, Lanita's in first, Union second, Stornoway third, and Camelot 19 points in fourth. Let's go to the Central Division now, shall we? Cliffstone scored on the last play of the game to win 43-41 over Athens. Point was dismantled by Sacradicity 28-17. Stanislav was able to ravage Pearson. And so, Pearson is in, Point is out, Cliffstone gets third place. Let's look at the East, shall we? Hill was able to just take Port to the edge. Port was able to win that game 23-21. Lock Harbor South smashed Laurier, and in the game of the week, Dragons defeated Magna. And so you have Lock Harbor North in first place. Lock Harbor South gets that fourth place. Now, what does that mean for the playoffs? Let's look at that, shall we? Sacradicity is in first place, Lanita in second, Lock Harbor North in third, and Stanislav in fourth. All these teams get a bye going into Wildcard weekend. Magna Carta, meanwhile, they're in fifth place because their point differential is not as good as Stanislav's. Union in sixth, Port in seventh, and then we drop down to Cliffstone in eighth. Magna to Cliffstone will all have home games for Wildcard weekend. Lock Harbor South is in ninth, Stornoway in 10th, Pearson in 11th, and rounding off 12th is the Camelot Wasp, who some will say are one of the better teams playing in Wildcard weekend. Magna Carta is going to have a tough game going into Wildcard weekend this coming weekend. Let's look at the matchups in more detail, shall we? Here are the lineups. We got Magna Carta versus Camelot, Union versus Pearson, Port versus Stornoway, and Cliffstone versus Lock Harbor South. If you're Camelot and you're facing Magna Carta, who do you have to worry about? First of all, the 8-man, Martin. He's one of the better 8-mans in the game. Yakovlev, their scrum half. Legrand, their fly half. And again, Green, their winger. All of those players are game breakers. And again, if I'm Camelot, I'm worried about them. Meanwhile, Magna Carta will have to worry about a number of Camelot players. You have superstars in Chattons as well as Tumon, who again, they're not just game breakers, they are game destroyers. In addition to that, Walshu scrum half, fly half Nazlando, as well as their hooker, Kayan. These are all players that can destroy Magna Carta. Bookies are putting Camelot as being the odds-on favorite in this game, but again, we know Camelot chokes a lot. Will they choke in this game? Let's look at the next match, shall we? Though Union have been known to tank in past important games, they won't be doing so here. They have a number of top-notch players. Let's start off with their starting props, Ayana and Mikkelsen. They are stars in their own right. Scarmilto, their lock, is a star. Tanko, their flanker, is a star. And then we go to their backs. They have Nevo and Best, who are amazing wingers. Sartome is in a great center. And their captain, Blarogan, he is on the cusp of being a bona fide superstar. Let's look at their competition now. Pearson has no one of note. Again, they got in because Point, the team everybody was expecting to make the playoffs, with 3 bona fide stars, choked. Their best player is Baker, a level 76 fullback, so it's going to be interesting to see whether they can do an upset, although realistically, this is going to be an absolute slaughter of a playoff match. Next game. Okay, so any Port fan will tell you they have this match. Why? They have Thochis at prop, they have Migasur at 8-man, they have Lefsando at fly half, they have Price at wing, and they have Toby Toba as a superstar winger and Keffin as a superstar fullback. But they're facing Stornoway, who have upset giants this season. Let's look at Stornoway's lineup. You look at Stornoway's lineup and you're like, well, okay, I don't recognize any of these players. There's not a star, there's not a superstar. Their best player is a flanker named Uchida, level 78. But the thing is, they're all level 70s. Their bench, save 3 players, are all level 70s. And so if this game is a rain-soaked game with lots of injuries, they could conceivably upset a better team in Port like they've been doing the whole season. Let's go to the last game, shall we? Cliffstone might have home field advantage, but they are not the favorite in this game. They have no one on their team save their fly half, Spanger, a level 90 superstar who they were able to somehow acquire from Athens. They paid a lot for him, and again, he was injured the second half of the season, and Cliffstone sputtered. They barely made the playoffs because Point choked, and Pearson, well, Pearson's Pearson, they're not that good. And so, if anything happens to Spanger this game, that's it. They're done. He is their only hope. Let's look at their opposition. Lock Harbor South are the favorites coming into this game. That hasn't happened much this season. They got in because Laurier had a ton of injuries, 9 injuries on a regular average basis. So there's not much hope in them, but they do have stars. Adams at hooker, Hicks at prop, Aarons at fly half, Davidson at winger, Hawthorne at center, Mawisa at center, and Law at fullback. The Blues have the better team. They have the better experience, but will they be able to take down the upstarts from Cliffstone, who have proven with Spanger anything is possible? Check it out. My name's Kai Silas, reporting for the National Sports Network. This is the Rugby Report. We will see you later.